Okay, we are live. All right, hello everyone, JM. Welcome back to Jaya Talks episode 11, where we dive into stories, into strategies, and real world lessons from the builder across the Web3 space. And we know that Web3 is a really big world, and it's also remote based, most of the workers. And we are here trying to connect you with might be some of your uh, public figure that you are idolized to, or maybe for someone who are you're looking forwards. And today, I'm Theo, as the head of marketing of Jaya Talent, and I'll be leading and also hosting the session for today. And whether you are in business development, community marketing, or maybe even operations, I mean, if your work's basically involved in talking to people, this one is going to be a home run for you. And today, we are talking about something that I will say easy to overlook, but often determines whether a partnership succeeds or falls apart, which is communications. Like most of our Web3 projects say that communication is the key. So what we're trying to reveal what are the key is. And before we bring in our guests, let's take a quick look at the company behind the insights you're about to hear. So our guest today is from HeLa, and HeLa is a modular layer one blockchain. I know that most of you guys has been asking about, sir, please invite a layer one blockchain. Sir, please invite a layer two, layer one, layer two, something like that. So we decided to invite HeLa, which is one of the most famous layer one blockchain designed for real world adoptions. It's also EVM compatible. And what makes it unique, in my opinion, is that they're stable gas fees. And it also has a built-in decentralized digital identity framework. And other than that, at the heart of the ecosystem, they have HLUSD, which is HeLa's native stablecoin, and which powers everything from everyday transactions to yield opportunities. And what's really exciting at HeLa isn't just about building infrastructure, but it also integrating the AI. So we know that AI is everywhere. Even ChatGPT is our best friend. And to give users more financially flexibility and also to provide a smarter experience in overall Web3. And in short, I would say that it might be like a network designed to scale up or maybe to level up partnerships. And also, it could make it a perfect case study for today's topic, which is how to communicate in partnerships. And to walk us through how communication shapes partnership or even breaks a partnership, in this space, we are joined by someone who's been leading ecosystem growth in the front lines. And please welcome Alistair Chen as ecosystem growth at HeLa. How are you, Ali?
Hi. Uh, Thank you, Theo. Yeah. So your question is like communication, right? So I think
Yep.
we got to be sincere. First of all, I think being transparent is one thing, especially in Web3, because I always feel that although people like to be anonymous, you have a crypto wallet, then you have a series of number, the very
Yep.
long stretch of wallet address, and then behind the scene you don't know who, But then that is on the participation part. But let's say if you were to build a project and then you want people to use it, you want people to really like try it. I guess being transparent and to build that trust is a key thing for communication. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. First of all, it's build the trust because when the trust is built, it's actually like a really strong bridge for you to connect with any other type of people, like users or maybe projects or even investors. So everything is based on trust. And Ali, could you share a little bit to us, like how you can dive into Web3? Have you ever been so focused in the Web3 before, or maybe previously you've been working with the Web2 companies? Would like to hear about that, and also some introduction about HeLa from your perspective.
Cool. So basically, I've joined crypto since like I would say like early 2017. So it was like started from simple moderation, with some like top tier US marketing firm. So from there, actually, I work with very cool projects like generative dungeons, and I would say like card racing, which have like Mark Cuban investments. Yeah. So back then, when I started moderating these kind of projects, I was like, where else can I get? Where else can I go? So as time goes by, then COVID came in, and then I decided to pursue this like industry full time. So I went to like relevant like blockchain courses, and I went to like study what's the like means like understanding the fundamentals of blockchain, and then how do you consider yourself as a layer one? How does all these like nodes blocks comes together and then working on chain. Like everybody says on chain is on chain is on chain, but what is on chain? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean this is what it is, and then people tell you, oh, it's a block, it's a block. So like yeah, here and there you hear so many vision. Even Web3 alone has like 3 or 4 definition. Yeah, everybody have their own understanding of Web3. But then yes, but then after all this, and then I went all in. And after that, I didn't left because I think that Web3, even though like I would say that we survived all the winter. Like example, some of the major crashes like Luna and then FTX, like I would say these are the pain experience. So I mean, through that we learned. Definitely, yeah, we learn. So I think for HeLa is very special. People started blockchain. Like they will always go with like fundings, like pre-sales fundings, all these like VCs and stuff like that. But I think for HeLa, we went in just directly like that, with a snap of the finger, like magic. So on that part, how it came through is I think our founder and the team, so and definitely our CTO also Kaching, KC in short. So they just like went on to launch their mainnet with Agency of Science Singapore. So it's called A Star. So for those people who are from Singapore, if you know A Star, then you will understand that actually that is something called A Star that create blockchain with a local company in Singapore. So this is how it began for HeLa chain. So the purpose of this HeLa chain, right? I would say that because a little bit history. So on our founder Andy, he's actually a trader for 10 over years. So being in Singapore, let's say you are a trader and then you have a company like that for 10 over years, definitely you're looking at somewhere with MAS license and stuff like that. So he himself is like a quantum trader, so he knows trading, like that is what he's do best. And then he created a blockchain to actually tokenize AI agents to do I would say trading on when he's asleep. I guess humans sleeps. So I mean, yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
human, I'm not trying to say he's getting lazy, but I mean this is like man's perspective, human perspective. Like, okay, what if I can use AI to do work for me, can trade for me on my behalf. So so this is where we came. I mean, this is how it all arrived. If you look at HeLa and on YouTube, definitely this is what the story is. So this is transparent and this is this fact. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I mean, if we can make the machine work for us, why should we work for ourselves? And we can just sleep. Everybody needs sleep. Everybody needs sleep.
Yes.
All right. Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
And I think you've been doing a lot of the communication previously in your experience, and you've also moving from the Web 2 to the Web 3, and hearing that one of the projects that you've been working at is actually the one with the Mark Cuban. It's not like an easy stuff to manage, I believe so,
So,
because
so back then with my PR firm, I work with
Mhm.
like KOLs like when crypto went DO, and even the today's they call as the crypto Shark Tank. So can you imagine like one of my projects is Club FOMO. Then she was there, and then I was like we were like on the Telegram, and we were like each other's socials. Back then she was just a normal KOL. Look at now, she's already like Shark Tank. So this is like how I see people grow in the Web3 space. So they are the closest example that I actually in contact with. So this is really is like, yeah, you can call it fate, you can call it like Web3 really is I would say Web3 is really a small world. Yeah, even though like it's a very big, I mean even the world is very big, but Web3 is really 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 small. Like the people who are working in this same industry is probably like the top 5%. You know what I mean? Like
Yep,
developers in
true.
whole ecosystem, you will always be that top few. You will not be, let's say example, Vitalik will be always Vitalik. You cannot find a second of Vitalik because there's no point creating another Ethereum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah. So that's why the thing is about Web3 is like I think it's transparent. Everything is validated. Everything is on chain. So if it's there, it's there. Yeah.
True, true. I like your opinion because sometimes if you are active in your maybe your national level or maybe your local level of Web3 gatherings, like in a whole year, sometimes I would say like 70 or maybe 80% you always meet the same people. And I think it's also explained how small Web3 community really is actually, but it also explained the potential that we could actually expand into. And all right, I think we could let's jump into discussion. And you mentioned that you've been helping a layer one, which is HeLa, and to interact with the wide range of projects. And I know that each of the projects have different goals, timeline, expectation. Because previously I've been working with the L2 layer on the Singapore as well, and having a lot of partnerships with the projects is really hard to manage, especially from the communication wise. I can't even count how many groups on WhatsApp or maybe on Telegram that I've been on. And how do you approach communication across that kind of complexity to make sure that it's effective?
So like touching back to the red point is like being like openness and the trust. So I think we build trust like in the first call. So when people ask you like what the current progress, you really got to be open, and then it's good to share challenges as well. So it's like example a few pain points for a layer one. It's like really a lot of people's coming in. Then a lot of projects, I'm not here to judge like which project is good. It's not for me to judge whether, oh, I look down on you because your project has so little user, although these are the things that we don't say upfront, but the thing is we got to be very honest. Sometimes it's better to reject than you like tell people to hold on and hold on. So sometimes like what I appreciate most is like really people are open and they build trust through being sincere. So let's say as I say, hey, so let's say if let's people like projects coming onto my layer like HeLa, then what are the things that we are looking? I straight away tell them so that they don't need to beat about the bush. They know where I'm coming from. They know where is my objective. So a call can actually cut short, so much. We don't need to like like spend too much of time, so we can just move on. It's not being rude. I would say it's not being rude, but I would say that this is like being professional and also respectful. Because I would say that if people hear my point of view of my point of what I'm seeing right now, they will actually appreciate better because they can say, okay, let me come back to you. You know what I mean? So when people can come back with you with what you want, it's even better. So you can tell people like, so right now I'm C2 blockage. So I think it's good to be clear. And then sometimes like, especially in Web3, I would say that communication always break down between the net. We are actually blocked, although right now it's like me and the screen and the mic. So you do not know whether how much information actually being like shared across because in the meantime, you really go through the internet. So let's say the internet is cranky right now. You cannot hear me, or I'm going too fast. You know what I mean? You got me. So it's good to actually like, like don't worry, don't be too shy to pause the person or jump back in and say that you have a question or maybe I misunderstood you from the point of view. Because sometimes, you can be a project, but then you are actually representing the core, is representing another project. So sometimes when you share your blurb, and then people will think that, oh, you're from this company, but actually today the core is not about this company but about my the app that I'm actually building. So I would say that being clear is one thing. Being truthful is the best thing. It's definitely best to be truthful, and then it's good if you can share some of the challenges, and then when people can feel and can help, I would say this is the part whereby you actually clear visions because you allow people to help you. And I think that in the core, people love to help people. This is what I always believe in. If that what's the point of me calling you right now, right? You know what I mean? So let's say if this
Yeah.
call doesn't help me or doesn't help me, then what's the point of me call? I mean, what's the point? If this call is a help call, definitely, if you are seeking, definitely someone is trying to deliver as well. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I agree. First of
Yeah.
all, it's being transparent and then be truthful and make sure that everything is being communicated so clearly. Because I also see that some of the communications, especially when the building partnership, isn't actually explain everything in a really clear way. But sometimes the communication I would say like can be like improved. So I totally understand your point, especially a lot of AMAs as well. Sometimes it's not really bring the actual points, and sometimes even though the speakers and the host is not really communicated very well, so it's just like, okay, let's continue. Okay, let's do that without actually having to like a ping pong type of conversations. So sometimes it also affects in the delivery of the topic, I would say. So yeah, I'm totally agree with that. And during your experience back then, have you ever have a moment where you actually thought that the partnerships that you're building, or maybe the partnerships that you're basically handling, is almost fell apart, but a good communication might save it, or maybe it's the other way around, like it's really good partnerships, but worse communication, or maybe a bad communication is actually ruin the whole thing that you've been building. Have you ever experienced stuff like that?
Definitely. I mean, you throw a stone definitely every day. If let's say you're everyday calling, definitely there will be a few that couldn't make it. That's why I say that it's better to actually be truthful that, now the current blockage is this, the challenges right now is this, then I cannot proceed. So that's why I say that, this is really, really good point. So that, when people come in and then they talk about the ideas, and then you can straight away and jump in and right now we are not in this, so that they don't have to understand. I mean, they don't have to like the part whereby they don't need to understand why are they not being rejected, or why is this a rejection right now. So you see, they can straight away get to it. They don't need to go through the 5 minutes of interview. I mean, like the whole, I would say, maybe say introduction of the product, because probably is not what the other one is seeking. So I think this is one thing. So partnership definitely will fail if the communication is not there. And I definitely experienced this, I would say, many times, and even sometimes text. Let's say I did with one, I text, the whole email already settled. The
Mm-hmm.
whole email settled. But the thing is, right, then somehow it just couldn't I would say that the whole, even the email is stated there, right? But then the thing is, when you want to execute, so the execution plan wasn't the same as the agreement, or the agreement on the contract is signed, even though the agreement is signed. But then you can realize that when during execution, the process is not like what it is you sign for. So this was like one of the things that I probably took a while to rectify. I would say that it's really, really pain. I don't say it's like pain as it's in the pain in the sense that it's like the blockage is so serious that probably you may think that you need someone to come in to help or interfere, but actually it's just being honest about it. That will be a better way to actually solve it. Like you tell people that honestly, this is what is happening right now, and then my current challenges is this, I cannot proceed. So after the person is here, I mean, after the person receiving this message, right, there is only two things. Hang up the phone, or let me rectify for you. There's only these two. Just hang up the phone. That means I'm coming back to you later. The deal is off, or let me rectify. I come back to you. This is the only two things. So probably you need to understand that this is the expectation, that this is the only two things that could happen, either good or bad. So for us,
Yeah.
like us people who are seeking, you must have the expectation to actually to receive the no. Because I think that I would say that you don't need to take it too hard, because I feel that a lot of times, when you say that the thing is off, I feel that this is what people should go for. Like accept that thing
Mm-hmm.
first. Let's say that let us look later. Because the chat is always there. The call may be off, the deal may be off, but then that doesn't mean that now you don't do it. Doesn't mean that next time you can't do it. Because I would say that no deals are I would say no deals are never a no for forever. There will be someday that, let's say right now you ask me, do I want a drink? But you know that I had my lunch or my dinner, I probably won't. You see, but you still ask me. But sometimes because I know and you will ask, so I just say, okay, let's go for a drink. But if you never ask, you will know also. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think that, so this is the thing. Never be afraid to face rejection. Take it as a no first. Then after that you visit. I mean, you revisit later. That will be my reply to you. I mean, how I deal with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good because there's a lot of rejection, especially in this type of business development type of things. Yes, and sometimes a single no is for some people might be enough to like let's just forget it and not even retouch it again or maybe revisit again.
Yeah.
But just like you mentioned, sometimes it's just not the best time to offer something. But in the future, like we never know, it might be a
Yes.
yes, it might be a big deal in the even in the tomorrow. I mean, we never know.
Yes.
So it's a good point. It's a good point. I agree. And Also, when it comes to building trust, I will take it back a little bit about the trust that you've been mentioning several times. When it comes to the building trust, everybody knows that trust is something that you need to do in the Web3 space, not even in the Web3, in the conventional or maybe traditional way, or maybe even with your family. It actually the things that we need to build it first. But do you notice any difference between doing that with the community and also project partners? Because what I've seen from the Web3 projects they've been doing so far is that they try to build trust with the community, but sometimes they miss the B2B type of things for the project partners. But sometimes it's the other way around. They have a really good partnerships with projects, with also even the big Web2 companies, but they can't even deliver it perfectly to the community or maybe to the users, and it ends up creating like a big question marks for the community because the communication, it doesn't really build the trust that they are expecting to build. So I'd like to ask you about how does the communication play in the both role of the community aspect and also from the B2B or maybe the projects aspect.
In terms of like community business aspect, right? I think we need to manage the expectation on both parties. So let's say it's a user on Discord versus a project on Discord. I would say that it's really on, like, I would say both actually are the same, because on, let's say if you were to seek help, whether are you you definitely, let's say on the front line as a customer service, thinking about point of, I mean, let's say you come to Discord and then you talk to the moderators or even the admins. I think customer service is about taking a step back first. You listen you got to let the you need to listen first. Assess the situation is one thing, reaction is another thing. So I think the best part is you assess the situation first, and then you only respond to the things that you're supposed to do first. So coming down the whole situation is one thing. So I would say that first you assess the situation by coming the party down, whether is it end user or is it a business prospect. I think I would label that as the same thing, because end of the day, they come back to you is also because it's how you manage things, right? So after the so let's say whether they trust you or not is another thing. So it's really is about how you do after sales. So after sales really is, I would say that it's not about being experienced here. I think it's more like how you handle the situation. That's why I give the first thing is, I think it's about coming down first. First of all, I don't think you need to react to anything. So you just need to listen first, and then you respond. So I think response in a way that identify what is the priority. I think a lot of times people listen to a call or listen to a conversation, or they're reading a conversation or reading the room, they forgot about like the first priority. So what is the reading the
Mm.
room like? You understand the atmosphere is like,
Yeah.
is it one person complaining, or is it like the whole community is like making a fuss out of it? Or is it a project that is like you cannot like face probably is outage? You see, so you can give a reason, like like in let's say the after you finish the let's say the person finish renting, and then you can just like behind the screen you can say, like, you can just do whatever whatever to get the scene out. That is fine. That because it's off the scene. It's behind the scenes. I think this is what is. But the thing is, I would say that coming the situation is next. That's why I said, when I say come, I mean you assess the situation, then you coming the situation is next. How you want to come it is based on how you feel what is priority. So the priority is like, okay, is it a wallet connecting issue? So you need to identify that problem. You need to
Mhm.
identify the solution. Before you give the solution, you need to identify the problem. So coming the situation is like identify the problem. So you say you can tell the person, slow down, calm down. So when you are assessing like this, calm down, slow down, and then you make the person go to your pace. This like a normal speech. And then when the person is more calm down, you realize that, oh, you don't really need to solve it right now. Just like bridging. Bridging takes sometimes 7 days.
I see.
So if a bridge for so many years, 13 years already, bridge is still having issue. So actually, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for those people who are
Yeah. Yeah.
using,
Yeah.
yeah, they will definitely understand what I'm talking about. Let's say the funds are stuck in the bridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you can relate, right? So I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah. I understand completely.
you just say, okay, funds is like in the bridge. Okay, we are back. So you can see. So it became like, okay, you remind them that actually, the situation is like this and something is worse. This is not worse than like your money is stuck in the bridge. This is not. It's just like probably outage. You probably try again. Be patient about it, right? Most of the time it's like
Yeah.
this. Yeah. right?
Yep.
Most of
Yep.
us like, be
True.
patient about it. Yeah, things can't be rushed because you must understand. You see right now, the project is going viral. So you complain about the
Mm.
gas fee. Why don't you just wait 3 hours later and then you try again? The gas fee definitely will come back. You see, I'm giving you a few scenarios on gas fees, high gas fees, funds stuck in the bridge. I would say these are really really common in DeFi because
Yep.
you need to embrace it. I would say, because this is like this is not like I would say how to say it's not like things that you sweep underneath the carpet. This is not, but this is things that you really surface it. Like example, when you are having a sunny day, out of the sudden storm just
Mm-hmm.
come. Oh no, because this is really unforeseen, it's of unforeseen circumstances. How would you know like the bridge like fail or outage? So some blockchain just always break point. What I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes it just, yeah.
sometimes they just like that. So the outage is there. You need to be patient. You need to understand. DeFi is still lacks the I would say DeFi still lacks the people there because you must understand. You throw a stone right now, there are still people don't have Bitcoin in their wallet. Even though it has been
Mhm.
around for 14 years, 17 years, right? Ethereum,
Yep.
how long been
Correct.
2013, right? So you see, 2025, you throw at the stone, the person might not even have Ethereum. So I would say be patient about it. It's still new. You're still around. Ethereum is still building. They are still on the slashing part. Nothing is way too beyond to for reach. Everything is Bitcoin. You tell me is still not 1 million yet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I
Guys,
mean, it still takes time. I mean,
yeah, you gotta chase the dragon. Come on, let's go.
yep.
Yeah. So I'm not here to promote anything, but I mean, you come to it, you need to understand that no matter how many years right now, whether are you or am I in since we are still building, the top 3% people who are still building are still building. CZ came out from jail. Come on, it's a fact. He's building, right? He's
Yes.
out of jail.
True.
He's
True.
building. So you see, so it's not about giving people second chance or life. No, no, no. I'm talking about all these. I'm thinking about you really, really understand this part. So I think that understanding the whole industry, embrace it. Then you will love crypto, because we are all in this, right? Yeah, you're not just facing this alone. And then your story
Yep.
is not that you're the only one. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
It's like because sometimes, especially since you mentioned about DeFi, like some people might be lost their money, maybe like $2 or maybe $3 due to the bridge or maybe to the outage, but they start to be like ranting a lot in the maybe Telegram or maybe Discord, like complaining this and that, this and that. But on the other hand, there might be someone who's even lose like 10K or maybe 20K and due to this bridge or maybe the same problem, but they just like, let's just face it. I mean, it's not always a good day every day. Some day could be like you mentioned, like could be like a power outage or maybe even the gas fee is pretty high. So there might be some delays or maybe some even coming back to our mistake because we don't actually type the wallet address carefully. So it could be like anything. And as part of the projects or maybe part of the company, I like the way you mentioned that be calm down first, not into like, because people sometimes, I would like to say, like most of the times, complaints coming with rage or maybe with really energy. So be someone who can control it, not the one
yes,
who just getting impacted by the rage that's been coming from the complaints. So
yes,
we need to bring our good atmosphere to them so they can also chill out, so we can find a way that this thing actually doesn't really need to be the first priority. It could be like maybe these things not even exist yet, about the solve, about the solutions maybe does not exist yet at the moment. It could
yeah,
maybe require anything in the future. So yeah, I
yeah,
like it, I like it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's actually a really good point. And I think other than that, I would say that in the Web3 space especially is also something new for the people who are actually being heard with their complaints, because it's not every day that in the regular, especially in this like a global type of ecosystem, where you
mm,
can directly complain to the team. So having this kind of privilege, I will say that must it actually coming from the Web3, maybe not originated from the Web3, but it must common practice in the Web3. where you can directly complain to the team, or you can even sometimes DMs the CEO or maybe the CMO itself by just founding their account on Discord. So I think if we can use this opportunity to communicate perfectly as a community perspective, and also the project perspective, it could lead into like a really good harmony in the Web3, like no hates, just just being positive every day. All right, all right. I would like to say hello first to all of our audiences. So today we have 238 audiences watching through our YouTube channels. Hi guys, welcome to the talk. If this is the first time you've joined, you can always put, or maybe you can slide things a little bit backward to follow the conversations, or maybe you can just continue. And if you guys have any questions, just write up in the comment section. And if you don't have the ability or maybe the functions to comment on the live stream, you can just directly go to the our Telegram group and directly type in the chat. And as we speak, actually, we already received, I think, how many questions we have now? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, we've got 7 questions. So I'd like to put the question first that is coming from the YouTube. So it's from Sweko. First of all, he said, "Yo, Theo, thanks for bringing HeLa. I've been watching them since 2 years. Oh, you are one of their community, it looks like." It's good, it's good. Okay, so the question is, hi Alistair, how do you balance transparency versus confidentiality in public communications?
I think this is a good one, because normally transparency is also part of like privacy. So I think being transparent is really is like I'm going to be honest about it, versus a confidence, like confidentially is more like something like private. So let's say you ask me, hi Ali, what is HeLa's listing price? You think I can tell you right now? So that is,
Yeah, no.
even though I know it, but I can't. So that is confident. Yeah, confidential. It can be confidential. That is like really private. So being transparency is really is like I probably can tell you users stay tuned. So for those people who have been following us for 2 years, Atlantia Point finally is live for minting. You just need to have like a bit of gas fees, like 30 cents. Yeah, please do not complain on the gas fees, guys, because definitely you earn it back. This is for sure. That is transparency. All right, this is not something that is private. Okay, this is, I'm done here.
There is honesty, honesty.
Yeah, being transparent here, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there a next question for me? I think you're on mute though.
Oh yeah, my God, sorry. Sorry. All right, so the next question is coming from our Telegram group. So the one who's been asking the questions name is Saiga Boy, James Norton. All right, the question is, sir, how do you decide which partnership are worth pursuing at HeLa? And thanks Theo and thanks Ali.
So like I mentioned earlier, I think I talk about like I do not judge first. I really don't judge your project. So whether is it a strong project or a project with little followers or users, I do not judge. But what I see is really is on the, like I would say I judge between like the objective, whether the project that is suitable for HeLa. So for HeLa, right, you, if let's say if you're listening, we are actually a blockchain that actually does really strong yield. So for those people who have been with us for 2 years, you definitely will know that most of our product we always give returns. This is the thing about my co-founder. I mean my founder of HeLa. I mean of HeLa. So I think this is very interesting, because whenever I talk to him, he always have this feel like he wants to give people back the money. This is what I always get. So then the rest of the team are like, how you want to give back the people the money? Because you never hear Vitalik say, I want to give you back your money, right? Yeah, that is transparent, guys. This is transparent. So okay, so coming back, so partnership wise, I feel that this is really is like whether does your project brings TVL to HeLa, does your project holds like significant weight, or funds you have. So I would say it's the same. So let's say if example for like I would say like top tiers exchange. Okay, I don't name names, but I will just say top tiers ones exchange. You will go to them. You definitely will go through shortlist you based on what. Are you in the top 5 or top 10 or even top 50 coin market cap? Are you even listed? And then you look at it, then you look at yourself, and then you look at those coins that are being listed in coin market cap, meme coins. Then you ask yourself, are your project worth it? You know what I mean? So, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
this is the part. So this is the part, okay? So the fun part
Yep.
is if your project is real, okay, and then you really spend 4-5 years or 3 years on it, and then you go and look at coin market cap, is just listing top 50. So you must understand, is your value based on hype, or are you building a value on really the project will work? So this is my question. So this is how I see. If I feel that the project does really make sense, like it is on a social, whether is it does in a social infrastructure, or does this one is really is like bringing really good user base. Like example, one of the company that we are trying to enroll is like I would say gaming companies that they
Mhm.
come towards HeLa, and they say that they want to use our stablecoin. So a lot of people do stable coins. So maybe I can use this this question since you asked. I will say that because our niche is on the stable coin. So for those people who have been following us, let me tell you something very alpha, that stable coins in HeLa is HLUSD, like you mentioned earlier in the start. So what if I tell you that this HLUSD carry yields itself? So that means without
Oh.
you doing anything, let's say you have HLUSD in your MetaMask, in your Trust wallet, or you're just holding this HLUSD in your wallet, it will just give you APY. It will just generate like bank account like that. So let's say if you have $500 in your bank account, then that bank will give you like a percentage, right? So what if I tell you that this is what is on HLUSD? We are going to build something like that for you. So this is what my founder Andy, I mean the founder of HeLa, Andy talks about it. So he has when the moment I came into the company, he has been telling me this already. So this is his direction, his main goal. So for my point of view, is like I also wish to help him to achieve that level. So for those people who are listening, and then you think that what partnerships is good for HeLa, that really talk about like something that echoes what we are building, you are the best DFs to come in. I hope this answers your questions.
I see. So it's like having the same resonance with the potential partners can actually be the project that are worth to pursue. I
Yep.
see. Wonderful. Really cool. Okay, next question is this is one of the most funniest question I've seen. So it's from Hyundai. How do you maintain a momentum in a long-term
Oh, this
collaborations, not make them work and make them missing you like a long-distance boyfriend?
So I think this guy is asking me about how I manage like long distance relationship here.
Yes,
I don't know
and
how
the
to
rest
relate.
is just
Like, you really make me things hard for this one. Like, how am I going to relate back to crypto? I've never been really in a long DR right now. I mean, this is not a. I mean, this. I would say this AMA is not about long distance relationship, but I think
yeah.
that maybe we'll say that maybe buying crypto is long distance, because you always feel that the bridge is very far to connect. For those people who understand, yeah. Like example, I need to like do like example from this coin to go another coin. I need to go through 5 bridges. That kind of complexity, but thankfully, this is not happening right now. I mean, like technology change, so you know trying to be multi-chain right now, I think this is the main. So to answer your question, I think crypto projects, if you want to make yourself not long distance, please make yourself multi-chain available. I hope it
Mm,
answers your question.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please build a lot of hands so it's easy to reach out and it can create a lot of handshakes with everybody at the
Yes.
same time. All right. Okay, so we have opportunity. We still have time for two more questions. So
Sure.
the next question is coming from the iScar Lab. So the question is, how do you deal with misunderstanding or miscommunication between teams at HeLa?
That's why I said don't be afraid. I think earlier I said don't be afraid to stop, pause people. So just pause them for a moment and say that like, oh, you are misunderstanding me. Maybe we are on a different point. Just jump right in so that you don't need to prolong that miscommunication any longer. That will be the thing. Just cut in and just cut the chase and just go right in. Yep. I hope that answers your questions.
Yep. Be
Yep.
clear. Be like, if you don't understand, just say it. If you want it, if you want the people to repeat, just say it directly.
Like you said,
It's
really,
simple.
yes, you're not, because the thing is like this. There's so many teams in a company. You don't need to create any more confusion to make them more complicated. So why don't you just go right in and then first pause? If let's say the person is a higher head, then probably you can just go to someone that is equivalent to that person. Maybe you don't want to like make him or her feel bad. Maybe you can just go to your senior if let's say that person is more senior than you. I would say, or you can just be very frank and say that that's how Gen Z stuff, man. Gen Z people just nowadays they just like just cut right in and just go for it. So sometimes I have to say that I learn a lot from the younger generation. Yeah. So this is one thing. So don't be afraid to hire Gen Z's guys. Sometimes I know they may be a pain in the but the thing is, yeah. But when situation like this, I would say that they are the best way of replying on a situation that is already very, I would say, zero visibility. Yeah.
I see. I see. All right. We have time for one more question. It's actually, wait, let me just try to copy paste it on the YouTube.
Well, you
So
are everywhere.
yes. All right. So I think I'll let you pick the question for the last question. So we have two questions actually. So can you read it in our backstage here? So there are two type of questions from Tina and from Temu.
Can you read it?
Yes. So let me try to. Okay. So the first one is from Tina. You can pick one, right? Okay. So let me try to explain first. So Tina question is, which one is harder, aligning with partners with the different vision and mission, or explaining modular layer one to your mom? So that is her question. Second one is from Temu. How do you politely say no thanks to a partner who clearly didn't even have time to read your docs? Okay, which one would you prefer to answer?
Wow. Wow, both are very, very good questions. Like you already face every day in your life. So I really believe those people who are asking me these kind of questions, I think we share the same kind of, like, I would say, job scope. Like you
It's like true
probably have.
story.
I totally can relate. For example, you share the blurb, but then nobody understand your blurb. I have.
Yes.
For example, that like they are founders of the project. Some more they don't read your blurb and then they just jump in. Oh, you are exchange. Oh, they just guess. The whole community, they guess what you're doing. It's like, yeah, it's like the first group chat. Like the Telegram group chat. You get me. So it's like, wow, this is
Yeah.
one of my experience. So I say that. Like I will say that same thing. Like I always say, you probably have to read the room. You will probably say, okay, this guy is just trying to probably just test you as well. Sometimes I will say people just want to. Sometimes the call is just like test your patient. I believe in.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you need to think. Sometimes these person just come in. Oh, just test your patient, because everything come in right. Misunderstood whatever you're doing. Misunderstood which company you are from. Totally call your wrong name. Then just, I'm in the wrong chat. Then exit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I guess that, like I said, things are like these are unforeseen. So take all these which really, really piece of salt. Don't take them too harsh. So be easy on yourself as well. Because sometimes it's not your job to explain what people are doing, but it is your job to explain whatever you are doing. So this is what my point of view. So let's say if you don't understand me, I explain myself again. You see, so if you don't understand me again, I explain myself second time again. So I think this is really what it is. You probably don't need they really don't need to they probably don't need you to understand what they are doing. This is what that's why they are always trying to mislead you. So I think that this is something like that. So probably you ask questions then, right? So I always say you
Yep.
probably have to come in and say pause and ask. So don't be afraid to say that actually you are trying to really, really like challenge. I feel this is very challenging right now because as of now I think I misunderstood this. So you see, so this is, I feel these are the words that you can pick it up. So you feel that this is a challenge right now. And because I think I've misunderstood four things here. First you go through what you are listening, and then if you feel that they are wasting your time, then I think you can just like mute yourself and then you just continue talking. And then the person say, I think you're mute until they close the stream.
Mm.
Yeah, you get what I mean? I think this is the best way to do it. Yeah, like create a fusion, like there is the possibility of like internet lagging until then you lag
Mhm.
out. You know what I mean? Like a
Oh,
prank.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So you just lag out. So I just mute myself. I just keep talking. And until the person close the stream. And then the person say,
Yeah.
I think you lag out, and then we will rearrange the call again. I would say
Yes.
that just call for an exit. Be creative also.
Yes. So it's like an excuse to basically
Yeah, without
listening
saying
everything
no,
over and over again.
just let you go off yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
will this help you?
Yeah, I see, I see.
Yeah,
That's a good one, guys. That is worth to try. No,
yeah,
I mean, don't do it in the wrong way, but yeah, it can be useful someday in your life.
yeah. I think the leg out bar, right, is the same thing. You if your partner don't really read your docs, right, then probably, you know, it's probably really is not interested. So sometimes, but the thing is, if let's say you're
Mhm,
this colleague, right, that you're sending, let's say you're the partner that is like, is you're really really needing your partner help, and then probably he or she is not helping.
mhm.
Probably you just jump right in or go for a, you know, like like I wouldn't say confrontation, but if possible, just you know, um, do
Just
it.
handle it your way, like
Yeah, just handle it in the
yeah.
sense that right in front of the person. You don't need to show your emotion or your frustration. I would say that these are very common. So take it with a piece of salt, but you just understand that if this is a need to go and you need to do it, then you probably have to just think about it and just do it. Like every time people trying to breach something, but they just cannot breach. I have people coming to
Mhm.
me and say that I try to stick on your platform, but then the wallet cannot connect. This has been going on. Sometimes work, sometimes don't work. Like you just probably have to be understanding that this is what you know life, and
Yep.
I mean it's part and parcel of life. Yeah, you don't really really have to let it affect you. Yeah,
Yep.
just try another day then.
Yes, sometimes it is what it is,
Another day then.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
works for you.
All right, all right. So, okay, everyone, it's almost an hour, and this has been such thoughtful and insightful questions. And for you guys who's been DMing me in the Telegram, like, please my question, guys. I will text here about their Telegram link from HeLa and maybe their socials that you can go through, and you can ask your questions there if your questions somehow didn't get read out in this live stream. So they're always welcome to answer every questions, but calm down. And now, before we wrap up, we always like to end Jaya Talks with a little surprise questions that we never write in any group or maybe communications. Okay, pressure?
No, no,
So,
come on.
okay. So the question is, what's your quote of the day?
What's the quote of the day?
Yes. It
mm,
can be like your favorite quote, or maybe something personal things that you live by, or maybe some good lyric from the music that you always been singing, or maybe you take it to the heart. I mean, it could be anywhere.
wow. I will say that stick of the day is I think in life, being in crypto especially, is about believing. So trust what you trust, trust what you trust, and then do what you need to do. That will be my quote for the day. Yeah, that's about it, man.
Amazing. Wait, let me just pin it as we always do in life. It's really about believing, trust what you trust, and do what you
Yes.
need to do. There might be some mistyping. Sorry, guys, I type really fast. And all right, so that's a great one. I love it. And as usual, for every speaker who's been giving us quote, we will always pin it in our socials so it can be one of your motivation also for all of our audiences. And to everyone who joined us today, thank you for tuning in for almost 1 hour. And if you feel like this stream is resonate with you, especially for these 200 something viewers, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and join our Telegram group. And later I will type in the chat regarding the social media of the HeLa. So stay tuned. And we have two different groups. The first one is general for the job seekers who are looking into next opportunities. And you can also check the HeLa career page on their webpage. So they have some sort of like career page as well. And to stay updated on the future and sessions, and especially for the Web3 opportunities. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep communicating. Thank you, Ali. It's really been such an honor to talk with you today.
Same
Hope we
here.
can meet in the next opportunities. Thank
Sure,
you,
sure.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you, everyone.
you.